Hey, what's up guys? Sipi Lepage here. I'm the founder of FullStacked, and I'm pretty excited because I'm about to show you the new features and functionality that I just pushed in FullStacked latest release. So as you know, FullStacked is a web application that provides developers a workspace to work on any kind of developer project. So to show you the state of FullStacked and the new features, we're going to go over 3 points. I'm going to start by just showing you the interface and how to navigate throughout your code editor and the other tools that there is in there. The second and the third point, we're going to go over how now FullStack can run in the cloud or on your machine. So this allows you to use your local resources or to leverage cloud computing, meaning you remote another machine. So we're going to go over like this little map that I draw. And how we can run FullStack on different type of device and how the developer experience stays the same. And the third point is going to be about how when you have an array of workspace instances, how all of this stays in sync and how can you work in that ecosystem. So stick with me because I really believe that FullStack can increase your productivity and mostly simplify your dev workflow. So let's go with the first point. As I stated, FullStack can now run also locally. And to do that, you just have to spawn it with the command line. So my workspace just popped out. Now it's setting up and now it's ready. So the main difference with the previous version, we used to have the icons on the far left side, a bit like a desktop. Now it's all in a command palette. Everything works with the command palette. It's just way more efficient because it's easy to pop it up or to hide it, whatever the state you're in. But you will retrieve pretty much the same icons as before. So let's start. Let's say I pop my terminal. Since now I'm running FullStack from my machine, this terminal is just like opening a terminal window. So I'm on my MacBook Pro currently. So I have all the commands from my MacBook. I have Node, I have NPM, and all that. All right, so let me jump into a little demo I prepared and show you how we can toggle between different windows very efficiently with the command palette. So I'm just opening my code editor. And then let's say I want to come back to the terminal. You can open whether the command palette with the icon that's here on the far right, or you can just hit Command-Shift-K or Control-Shift-K if you're on Windows. And one click is going to pop it out. Now you can use your mouse and another click and it's going to toggle. If this icon is in your way, let's say I don't know if there would be an icon from the other window behind, you can just drag it wherever you want. You could leave it there. It's going to go back there. But most of the time it's fine at the default position. So let's say I start my little demo app. I open it up like here. So it's just a landing with a little text. And then let's say I want to go back to my code editor to make some changes. This. And then I can come back to my browser. And there you go, we see the change. And then I could change it again. Let's remove the current. There you go. Let's say I'm done and I want to close my running app. I can just jump back to my terminal and stop it. So as you can see, it's pretty efficient. And what's cool is that you can retrieve this developer experience, whatever the platform. So we're jumping to point 2, where we're going to test it out on Windows, on my workstation. We were currently here on my MacBook Pro. And as you can see, it runs pretty well. Let's switch computers. We're now on my Windows workstation, which is a little Lenovo with an i7 and 16 gigs of RAM. So it has plenty of resources to run my stuff locally. And I don't need to use the cloud for this. So to start the FullStacked Workspace on Windows, it's pretty similar to how we've just done it on macOS. All you need to do is open a PowerShell session and start with the command. So there you go, setting up. We're gonna go over what's going on here in the third point, don't worry. So as you can see, it's the same command palette and the same tools that they're here. And let's grab the same demo we had, FullStacked demo, and start it up. And then start this here. And then as you can see, Control-Shift-K does the same thing. Let's open the editor. Then we have our code here, and we can always just swap throughout our windows. And so as you can realize, the tiny difference is that since it uses the terminal session behind, on macOS, it was macOS terminal, which is a Unix based, and here it's the PowerShell, which is DOS based. So there's a few commands that are different, but mostly you can use the same, like basic commands like make directory or change directory. So if you're using Node, npm, or cross-platforms language interpreter languages, you're gonna find your way pretty easily. All right, now if we go back to our little drawing here, so we've seen that it can run on the MacBook and on the workstation locally. So now what about using it with other type of connected device like a tablet, Chromebook, or anything else? The perk of doing that, of hosting it on a server and remoting the workspace, is that you offload entirely the computing to that server. So I have set up a little Raspberry Pi to simulate some sort of server, and I'm just going to show you the setup. So here's the little Pi. I have already set up FullStacked, and as you can see, that red wire is connected into my Windows workstation. So I'm going to show you how you can use FullStack remotely by connecting to that Raspberry Pi through a LAN network. So first thing, I'm going to check what's my IP address here. So I just grabbed it, and now I'm going to start FullStacked and then let it run. Let's get it from our Windows computer now. So now the Pi is playing the role of the home server like this, and we're just going to connect to it and remote all the computing to this. The Pi I'm using is a Pi 4 with 4 gigs of RAM. So this is really just intended for the video because my workstation is basically way more powerful. So I wouldn't do that normally, but I'm just going to show you how you can remote your workspace. So imagine your server would be a full-blown web server with a lot of resources. Well, you can just offload all the computing. So I noted down the IP address, and now I'm going to reach it. And there you go. Once again, the same workspace, looks the same, but now the terminal can show you that clearly it's not a PowerShell that's behind. Now it looks more like a Unix because we're in the Pi. So once again, if we go into our demo and just start it, there we go. We still have it. I'm going to open it in another window. So it was on port 8001. And yeah, there you go. We can see the request come in. Can even open the code editor and open our project. And now this is the Pi file system even. All right, now if we go back to the map, so we started with my Ultrabook, my MacBook Pro. Then we did it with my workstation running FullStack locally. And then the Raspberry Pi kind of played like the home server that we were connected through LAN with a wire. And now the only OS we didn't do is Linux. Well, we ran on the Raspberry Pi under Linux, but I'll show you on a device running Linux, running it locally, and show you how the DX is once again the same. So we're back on a machine running Linux. It runs Ubuntu. It has a decent processor and a decent amount of RAM. So I'm going to start FullStacked locally. Workspace is setting up. And now we're going to go into our project demo. Just going to install and then start. So as you can see, the DX is pretty close, not to say the exact same. And if I start, and there you go. We have the same app, can still toggle to our window, and we can even open our code editor. So there you go. Now that I've showed you that you can run FullStack on any kind of device, we've run it on a Windows workstation, on my Apple MacBook Pro, and even a Linux laptop. We even went further with running it on a Raspberry Pi and remoting the workspace. And this is very great if you want to offload your machine of any work, or if your machine can't handle the work. Now, you realize that you can run the workspace on an array of devices. But how is all of this staying in sync? And this is what I'm about to show you in that third part of this video. So let's jump back into our workspace. And you've probably noticed this little window that popped out pretty much every time we booted the workspace. So what happens here is we connect to the FullStacked Cloud service and we connect to our storage. So if I open the Explorer, this is my local file. This is what I have in my current computer. If I check it out with the terminal, it's the same. Okay, there, it's the same stuff here than there. But there's a tab here. If you go on the cloud side, now that's what in my cloud storage. So I can decide to sync or not different projects. So currently I have synced the FullStack demo. So if I make some changes here, current date, let's just put date. I save that, and then I ask to sync. You're going to see that it ships. So if I check out the cloud on the cloud side and I check that index again, it's date like that. Okay, now let's change it again. Now let's just put now. If I save, I won't ask to sync right now. We'll check again on the cloud side. Date. But we just changed as now. Let's ask to sync right now. We've seen the process pass. It got updated on our storage end. So now you've seen that I clicked on the sync icon there, but bear in mind that it's going to try to sync every 2 minutes. So you don't even have to think about it. Usually if you have an internet connection, you're always going to be in sync. So let's grab another device. We're going to go on the iPad Pro and now pick it up from there. But since an iPad Pro cannot run like a Node.js app or an NPM command line, we're going to use the FullStacked Cloud Workspace service. So FullStacked Cloud is going to spawn a little workspace instance just for me, and we're going to connect to this, and I'm going to show you how we're going to just pick up that project and go from there. So see you on the iPad. All right, so now we're on an iPad Pro 13-inch, and I'm going to show you how you can just start a FullStacked Workspace instance with the service of FullStacked Cloud. So all you have to do is go to the FullStacked Cloud site and log in. And then it's going to find the closest server to spawn your workspace. And there you go. You're going to find again the same workspace, the same tool, the same command palette. So you'll always feel at home. So now let's see how we can sync our FullStack demo project that we've been using this whole video. So as you can see on the local side, I don't have this directory. So I'm going to go on the cloud side, and as you can see, it's there and it allows me to sync it. So let's do that. And we've seen it pull in, and there we go. We have it. So let's now get into it and install. And then we're going to run it to see if it actually is the same app. But it will. And there we go. We have that same app once again. And we can even pop it on another tab and then use the command and numbers to switch between tabs very fast. This is a setup I really like, because now I'm going to open the code editor and show you how you can just switch very fast. We'll make a little change here. This is the current date. Save that. Restart our app. There you go. Then just refresh. Okay, there you go. Just want to see if the watcher works well. So this is, we're going to go back just to current date. Current date. There you go. And then we make changes. So we're going to ask FullStack to sync right now. And you've seen it pass. It just shipped the new changes. So we're going to pull it from another device and see that the change in this did change. Well, we're going to go back to the MacBook Pro and see how those changes just passed. So back on the MacBook Pro, and let's see how we can get back the changes. So I'm going to restart FullStacked from here. Then let the app find its storage. And there you go. You've seen it pass. And then if I restart it, current date. It's exactly how we've made some changes on the iPad. So if we go back to the map, just to explain a bit what happened, we all started from here, played around here, did this little setup with the Raspberry Pi, so didn't do much change, but we just synced here. Then with the iPad, we used the workspace instance, which used still the same storage. And then when we came back to the MacBook, it synced again with the storage. So that's how you can work in the ecosystem of FullStack with the service of FullStacked Cloud. You just lose this sense of, I need my laptop to work. Now, any device is just a couple clicks away or a command away of having your full workspace, your full synced project, and just retrieve this same developer experience again. So this is it for this video. I'm going to finish up on this little tiny setup that I've been starting to use, and I think it's pretty cool. I hope you're thrilled and you can start using FullStack right now. Start by just going on fullstack.org sites, and you're going to find all the instructions to set it up and get started. I really believe that it can simplify your dev workflow and remove that sense of I need my machine or what happened if I lose my laptop. you're just gonna forget about all this and concentrate on your dev work. So all right, till next time.